YouTube, what is going on? In this video, we're going to be covering what I eat in a day to lose fat, to go from this to this right here. This is the transformation I have made thus far in my fat loss journey, and so I'm going to cover exactly what I have done in order to achieve these results. Now, a few quick things before I dive into the actual videos, and as you can see, I'm going to give you literally the exact same thing that I'm eating, but number one, I don't want you to go and eat these foods I don't want you to follow this exactly. A lot of people do these videos and they just kind of like say, oh, here's what I eat, and like people think that's what they're supposed to do, and like, no, what I'm going to show you in this video works for me and my lifestyle and my current body fat and me being a 25-year-old 6'4", 230-pound male, not you. So please don't go and take what I'm exactly eating and putting it into your life. I will say this though, what I'm going to show you, the principles of, you can absolutely take and possibly work into your own journey, and we're going to talk about that towards the end of the video. So this video I'm going to structure a bit differently than I think what most people probably do, and I'm going to keep it real with you. I have no clue what other people do because I don't watch anybody's what I eat in a day videos because I just eat what I eat. But with that being said, I think it's different than what most people do because they just kind of show you what they eat and like that's kind of it and they're out. I'm going to tell you and show you exactly what I eat, but also I'm going to explain why I'm eating these things. I'm going to explain the habits behind them. I'm going to explain the reasoning behind them. I want you to learn throughout this process. If you know me and my channel, I'm about education. I want to teach you something so you can make sure you can then implement it into your own life, because you looking at what I'm about to eat means absolutely nothing in your life. You have to be able to make sure you can translate some of this stuff into your own life. And so after I show you what I eat, I'm then gonna wipe this board clean and I'm gonna go over specific habits and specific things you can take from this video to then implement into your own life. I think that's where most people go wrong. They just like show you what they eat and like, that's it. I'm gonna show you what I eat, but I'm also gonna tell you why I'm doing this and what you can do about it in your own journey. So with that being said, let's dive right into the video. So meal number one, and again, I'm gonna go meal by meal, piece by piece. I forgot to write down here 5 a.m. So I'm gonna tell you what time I'm eating every single thing, okay? My first meal of the day is gonna be at roughly 4:30 to 5 a.m., depending on what time I wake up. My first meal of the day is going to be a 25-gram protein shake, as you can see right here. So Legion Athletics is the brand that I use. Listen, you can have different brands of protein, it's okay, but I prefer and I enjoy Legion Athletics. They're super clean, they taste freaking amazing, they're very low calorie, they mix with, I just mix mine with water. Everyone always asks me, what do you mix it with? Water. It tastes that good, I just mix it with water and I keep on going. And so I use Legion Athletics, again, super low calorie, super high protein. If you want to check out Legion Athletics, I'm going to be mentioning them a few times during this video. So feel free to, I'll leave a link in the description of this video below. You can feel free to check out their stuff, as well as if you want to, try out some of their products. If you've never tried Legion, you can actually get 20% off with my code Eric and just, put it into the checkout whenever. So you can do that if you want to, but that is what I use first and foremost. I just do 1 scoop in the morning. Next is going to be, I have a Greek yogurt with that. So I have literally this right here. So 15 grams of protein. So we got 25 grams of protein with this protein shake right here. I'm sorry, 21. This particular one's 21 grams of protein, different flavors, maybe different flavors, different grams of protein, but 21 grams of protein plus 15 grams of protein. As you can already see, 36 grams of protein at that one breakfast already, just from that. And then number 2, I will have 1 banana. And then, whoa, number 3, we're gonna have at least 1 rice cake. And again, depending on kind of what else is going on that day, I'll have anywhere from 1 to 2 rice cakes. I'll get a little bit wild. So that is literally that right there. I have that breakfast every single day. And you're gonna find out I'm very routine with what I do, and I enjoy every single one of these things. Like right now, I want to eat this because I enjoy every single one of these things. Yes, I actually enjoy rice cakes. I know some people are like, oh, there's no way you can like rice cakes. No, especially, I love the caramel. I'm not a big fan of chocolate. I kind of like, there's one like an apple. I kind of like that one, but I love the caramel ones. And so yes, I actually enjoy these. And so I eat this every single day because I enjoy it. And that's one of the things that we're gonna talk about later on in this video, so keep that in mind. And so that is my pre-workout meal, actually, because after this, I'll spend about an hour doing some work on my computer, and then I'll go and work out. So about 5 a.m., I eat this. About 6 a.m., I will take my pre-workout, again, from Legion Athletics. And so I know it's not really a food, but I figured I'd say it anyway. So number 2, my post-workout meal is going to be, again, just 1 scoop of protein powder and either a clementine, 1 or 2 clementines, or some watermelon. I love both those fruits. I love clementines and I love watermelons. So either one of those 2 fruits I will have with a simple protein shake post-workout, and that is my second meal of the day thus far. And then right after that meal, I'll have my creatine, my post-workout supplement from Legion as well. All right, and then after that, I'll have my third meal of the day. I'll put a picture here above because I take pictures of my food because that's what we do in 2021. I'm gonna put a picture here of some of the meals I have, whatever, but essentially what I do is I have some white jasmine rice. So right here, literally, if you've watched my meal prepping video, which if you haven't watched my meal prepping video, go watch my meal prepping video. I talk about this, but this is a hack that I use to like prep the rice without actually prepping the rice. This is literally just frozen, organic, white rice. All I do is I put this in the microwave for 4 minutes, I heat it up, it turns out perfect, and I eat this with some sort of meat. So like for example, right here, again, I'm just gonna quickly open it up. I have some ground chicken with some peppers and some seasoning on top. This is some of my meal prep as well, so if you have not watched the meal prep video, go watch the meal prep video after this one, of course, but I will have some rice with some sort of meat. This is ground chicken, I'll do turkey, I'll do regular shredded chicken, I'll do steak, I'll do some sort of good quality lean meat. I will do that, and I will also take my supplements during this time. Various different supplements I take, so I take some fish oil, I take some vitamin D, I take some gut support health, and so I also take a multivitamin, so again, all from Legion essentially, but that's meal number 3, so I'm taking those things during that period of time, which by the way, before I forget, roughly around 10 a.m. thus far. So again, I've eaten at 5 a.m., I've eaten at 7:30 a.m., and I've eaten at 10 a.m. So this is kind of my structure throughout the day thus far. All right, so now on to meal number 4, and again, remember, after I basically give you everything that I'm eating, I'm gonna talk about why I'm doing it and what's going on, all that kind of stuff. So kind of stick with me here. But meal number 4, I'm gonna have 1 big ass salad per day. This is the salad bag that I use. I enjoy it. I literally have this every single day. And again, you're gonna ask me, what the heck, Eric? I like it. That's why I have it every single day. I enjoy it. I enjoy eating it. I have this every single day. What I do personally is I mix this right here with, again, some sort of meat. I don't have to open this up again, but let's say I'm putting chicken on top, I'm putting salmon on top, I'm putting steak on top, whatever the case may be. I'm getting a big ass bowl, I'm putting this inside there, and this comes with dressing and it comes with wonton strips. And so for me, what I do is I just use half the dressing and I use half of like the other ingredients inside there. I put all the lettuce in, I use all the lettuce and all the greens, but I just use half the dressing and half of whatever else comes in there. And honestly, for me, you're gonna hate me, but I just throw the rest away. So like, hate me all you want, but that's just what I do. So, and again, that's why, people ask me, oh, how many calories? Well, listen, all I'm really having is lettuce, meat, and a little bit of dressing and a little bit of whatever else is in there. So for me, like, this is what I do personally. Again, I'll put a picture here above of what that looks like, but this helps me so much because again, I've already have these 2 things prepped. Like, as you can see, I've really not cooked anything all day long because it's all pretty much prepped and ready to go. And like, I'm finding very simple options. Things like pre-made, like protein shakes. I'm finding things like pre-made salad bags. I'm finding things like Greek yogurt. And so hopefully you're catching on that, but that is meal number 4 around roughly 4 p.m. I'm sorry, 1 p.m. All right, so meal number 5, really kind of a meal slash just a snack, really. I'm having another protein shake around 4 p.m. Literally, it's all I have. I just have a protein shake around 4 p.m. I'll do this I'll just mix it in water. This one's strawberry banana, which by the way, I think one of the most underrated flavors from Legion, strawberry banana, fucking amazing. But around 4 p.m., I'll have that. If I'm feeling frisky, I'll maybe throw in a rice cake or an apple, but typically speaking, I'll just have normally just this and kind of keep rocking with my day. And last but not least, meal number 6 is going to be, I'm having roughly around 7 to 8 p.m. I'm having some sort of meat either rice or sweet potato fries, which I have my sweet potato fries right here. I fucking love these. Again, if you have not watched the meal prepping video, I talk about which sweet potato fries that I use, so check out the meal prepping video. But, you know, I have my sweet potato fries. I'll either eat them, you know, eat all of them, or I'll just make some and kind of save it for later. Again, AKA meal prepping. Oh man, it smells good. I want those now. They smell really good. I'm hungry. So I'll have that, I'll have sweet potato fries, and then I'll have my spinach right here. And so, again, talking about like making things easier, the only ingredient, I'm looking at the ingredients right now, the only ingredient is organic spinach. That's it. I just put this in the microwave for 2.5 minutes. I have my perfect sauteed spinach. I put a little bit of salt on top, and I thoroughly enjoy eating all of this right here. So this meal, last meal of the day, again, I put some pictures up here, whatever. This is my last meal of the day, and that is essentially my entire day of eating, piece by piece, pretty much every single day. And I'll explain all of this stuff here. Let's go a bit more in depth, okay? All right, so start from the top. Why am I having this stuff at 5 a.m.? Well, okay. Eating before your workout is going to help benefit your workout performance. You will have more energy, you will have more stamina, you will have more strength. I did an entire video on pre-workout stuff, so like feel free to check it out. But eating before my workout, getting a good quality source of protein, starting my day off with very, very, very high protein, like that I showed you is like 36 grams of protein at 5 a.m. Like some of you get 36 grams of protein the entire day, let alone at 5 a.m. And so starting off with very high protein, and then also having a good form of carbohydrate with some fruit, and also having a good form of carbohydrate with some rice cakes. Both those things are very easy to digest for me and gives me energy for the workout ahead. So that's why I have that pre-workout. Now going to post-workout one more time. So I'm having protein shake again with some sort of fruit. One more time. Post-workout, which again, I've done a video on what to eat post-workout. Essentially post-workout, you want the same thing. You want some carbohydrates and you want some protein. So again, protein shake with some fruit, two very good sources of both protein and carbohydrates, very easy to digest, will help me start the recovery process. It'll help me, get muscle protein synthesis started. So all of those things post-workout can help me when it comes to that. And again, I'm not going super heavy here. Like my actual post-workout meal, I kind of consider this right here. This is just kind of like a buffer to kind of get to that time period, right? So it's not a super heavy meal, but it does kind of hold me over until I get to that 10 a.m. meal, which again, my 10 a.m. meal is white rice with some sort of meat. And I do that literally, when I'm not losing body fat and trying to build muscle, which we'll talk about at the end of the video as well. But I eat that meal just so many times throughout the day. And so it's, for me, very easy to digest, very simple to make. I already have the meat made. The rice is already cooked. I just put it in the microwave. Like, very simple, very easy for me. And again, gives me good energy. I have good digestion. I can hit my protein goal. As you've noticed thus far, protein has been a big thing thus far, which, again, hint, hint, we'll talk about here in a second. But that's my meal number 3. Now, meal number 4, roughly around 1 p.m., my big-ass salad per day. Can't get away without having a big-ass salad per day. It has to happen. If you want to help yourself lose weight, having one big-ass salad per day is going to massively help you. It's very low calorie for very high food volume. Listen, I'm a big guy. Again, like I started this weight loss thus far. I was 240, 252. Now I'm 230, 231, right? I'm down over 20 pounds, but I'm a big guy. And so for me, I like eating food and I can eat a lot of food. So for me, having this big ass salad where I can eat a ton of food, but not a ton of calories. Because remember, I only use half the dressing and half of like the croutons or whatever else comes in there. So I put that with some protein on top because protein keeps you super full. And I have that meal. That meal fills me up so much and it allows me to have lower calories for the day because it fills me up so much. And so I suggest everybody have a big-ass salad per day, like whether it's lunch, breakfast, dinner, whatever. Having one big-ass salad per day, it's so easy. And again, for me, it takes a lot of the guesswork out of it. I don't have to think about like, what am I gonna eat? Like, I know exactly what I'm gonna eat that meal. It's gonna be a big-ass salad. I'm gonna switch up the protein source. I'll have chicken one day, I'll have steak the next day, I'll have whatever I wanna have, I'll put it in there. But like, that way I can make things super easy. So big-ass salad, meal number 4, super important for me. And again, that helps me to meal number 5, which is really just a protein shake. The reason I have that protein shake at meal number 5 is 2 reasons. Number 1, I want to help reach my protein goal for the day. And number 2, I want to make sure I continue muscle protein synthesis. And so, as you kind of seen right here, every 2 to 4 hours I'm eating, right? As you can probably see, every 2 to 4 hours I'm eating, right? Number one, that helps with satiety. So what does satiety mean? It just means keeping you full. So if you eat roughly every 2 to 4 hours, you don't have to do that. It's not like oh, this is the most important thing. No, the most important thing is being in an overall calorie deficit. That's why all of this works, because I'm in an overall calorie deficit, which if you don't know what a calorie deficit is or what the hell I'm talking about, where have you been? But also number two, I've done an entire video on that, so feel free to check it out here on my channel. But I'm in an overall calorie deficit, but this keeps me full. It helps keeps my hunger at bay. It helps keeps cravings at bay. I'm having protein literally every 2 to 4 hours. And so having high protein every 2 to 4 hours is gonna help you stay full. And so that's why I'm having meal number 5, because if I was to go from meal number 4 to meal number 6 from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. without eating, I'd be starving, dude. I'd be freaking starving. And by the time I got to meal number 6, I would be much more likely to overeat, because I'd be so hungry, I'd be so craving things. I'd be like, I haven't eaten in 7 hours, like I'm freaking starving. And so, making sure I have that kind of buffer time period, again, where just having a quick protein shake takes me 2 minutes to mix up the protein shake and drink it. Like, it's super simple. And it also helps with muscle protein synthesis, which if you're trying to build muscle and build strength, you want to continue to have muscle protein synthesis throughout the day, basically trying to, signal your body, hey, continue recovering. Here's some more protein. Here's some more amino acids. Keep doing your muscle building process. And so that's why meal number 5 at 4 p.m. having that. And then again, meal number 6, I'm also having that around 7 to 8 p.m. I'm including, a good amount of carbohydrates at that meal, because again, I go to sleep roughly around 8:30 to 9 p.m. And so when I wake up at 5 a.m. and work out at 6 a.m., because I work out at 6 a.m., I want to make sure, yes, I'm having carbs beforehand, but I also want to make sure I have carbs at dinner the night before. And this is because, again, my body is going to use that fuel, use those carbohydrates as energy for the workout ahead. And so I really want to make sure at nighttime I have good quality carbohydrate sources coming from either rice or sweet potato fries. I have those two things to help give myself some energy for the workout ahead. Obviously, I will have this food right here, but having those two things back to back. And as you can see, during the day, I don't do too many carbs, right? So like a big ass salad, not too many carbs. Meal 5, not too many carbs. I have some carbs at meal 3 and meal 2 over here, but it's like, and again, carbs are not bad. They're totally fine. As you can see, I love carbs. You can keep eating them. It's totally fine, but definitely having them around my workout helps me perform better and have a better workout. So that is kind of the next step, kind of in-depth process. Now, how can you help yourself? Kind of like, what's going on here? How can you help yourself? I'm actually going to wipe this board clean, and we're going to talk about habits that I like to do, and you'll kind of see how these things start to piece together. We're going to talk about habits and kind of what you can take from this right here, okay? So what can we learn from this video? I hope you've learned at least something thus far, but now I'm going to kind of break it down into more kind of like actionable kind of pinpoint things. And so starting from the top, number 1, obviously, as you probably saw, protein was a big key factor, right? So I'm trying to have protein at every single meal. So as you saw, every single meal that I had protein with, whether it was a protein shake, whether it was fruit, whether it was whether it was protein shake, whether it was meat, whether it was Greek yogurt, whatever the case may be, having, basing your meals around protein, no matter what. If there's something I can get across to you, base your meals and your eating times around protein no matter what, okay? So that is a big thing right there. Again, helps keep you full, helps keep you satiated, helps fuel muscle protein synthesis, helps fuel recovery, which if you're not recovering properly, then you're gonna get more cravings, you're gonna be hungrier, you're gonna be less full. Like, all those things are gonna then backfire on your journey. So really making sure you understand protein is a key part. I've done plenty of videos on protein, so check out my channel if you want to, but protein, number 1. Number 2, I'm trying to have 2 servings of fruit per day. So if you go back and kind of rethink, I was having banana at the meal number 1, and I was having watermelon or clementine at meal number 2. So there's my 2 servings right there. I get those in the morning. I'm trying to have 2 servings of vegetables per day. So again, thinking back, I have a big ass salad per day. That's 1 serving. I have serving at dinner time, which is sauteed spinach. And so people always ask me, well, what is a serving, Eric? To me, a serving, like, it's gonna be different, because a serving of spinach is different than a serving of Brussels sprouts or broccoli or whatever the case may be, or fruit versus banana, or whatever. But a serving, in my opinion, is the proper portion size that you need in order to maintain your calorie deficit. How many times per day? So really this should be like, I'm having fruit 2 times per day, and I'm having vegetables 2 times per day. That's one of the habits I'm trying to make sure I include into my nutrition. So these 3 things, as far if you go back and kind of like even scroll back in the video and kind of check, like all of these things are checked right here, right? So protein every single meal, 2 servings times per day, fruit, 2 veggies 2 times per day as well. Well, veggies 2 times per day. Now, when talking about like, people are gonna ask, oh, well, did you have a cheat day? Did you eat out? This and that. Listen, again, this is where I have to make this very clear. Don't do what I do. I am different than what you are, than who you are, than what your life is. Like, we are not the same. And that's not a bad thing, but we are not the same. It's not a good or a bad thing. We're just fucking different, right? Me personally, I don't eat out a ton to begin with. I don't have much of a social life. I don't drink. I don't go out to eat. Like, even if I'm not trying to lose fat, I'll go out to eat max 1 to 2 times per week, max. I don't go out to eat a ton. So during this period of time, you know, that transformation you saw, I'll put it up here again, that transformation you saw, I've only went out to eat, this is within 8 weeks, I've only went out to eat roughly, I think it was two times. I've eaten out 2 times during the 8 weeks. And so I don't eat out anyway. Even, again, we're gonna talk about, you know, maintenance and like, what if I'm not trying to lose fat, what do I do? Hint, I don't eat out a ton. And so I think that really does help me, because when you eat out, number one, it's harder to make sure your calories are in check. And number 2, you don't really know how many calories you're intaking. Whereas opposed to all of the food you saw that I was eating, I know all of that. I know all of the calories. I know exactly what I'm consuming. So it makes it easier for me. And again, that's not to say you can't eat out and lose weight. But like if you're eating out, you know, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times per week, like number one, I don't know how you have the money for that. And number 2, like it is going to make it a bit harder. So, you know, just my 2 cents right there. I don't eat out a ton, but if I do eat out, like I'll just fit it into my calories and just kind of keep working. So not to say, again, I don't want you to think like you have to be me and like you have to be a hermit like me. No, if you enjoy eating out and like your family and your spouse and whatever, do it, man. It's totally fucking fine. But just know that like you can eat out and still lose weight. You just have to be mindful of it, which by the way, I've done a video on that as well. But now, number 5, eating every 2 to 4 hours. Again, something that I do, something I've always done, something I encourage my clients to do. You don't have to do it. I know someone, well, what if I do fasting? Listen, I'm not the biggest fan of that kind of stuff because of the reasons I listed earlier when it comes to satiety, when it comes to keeping your body full, when it comes to muscle protein synthesis. Like, I'm not a big fan of going extended periods of times without eating because I just think it backfires more than it helps people for the most part. And so I'm trying to eat every 2 to 4 hours, and I would kind of strongly encourage you to do the same. Again, even if it's just a simple protein shake. So remember, meal number 5 over here at 4 p.m. for me is literally just a protein shake. It's not like I'm having this huge, ginormous meal and taking all this time. No, it's just a protein shake. But like, I'm making sure I get something every 2 to 4 hours, maybe 2 to 5 hours max, and making sure you give your body nutrients. Because if you go from, this is where most people go wrong. They don't eat at all during the day, and they get home and they're like, oh, why am I starving? I'm gonna eat everything. Well, you haven't eaten all freaking day. Like, that's why. Not eating all day is not a good thing. So please keep that in mind and please start trying to work yourself into, you know, eating every 2 to 4, 2 to 5 hours, somewhere in between there. Like, you don't have to, and it's not like, oh, that I hear this too, like, oh, it's gonna boost your metabolism. No, it's not gonna boost your metabolism. It just helps you stick to your calorie deficit a bit better because you're not starving, you know, by the time 7 or 8 p.m. rolls around and you say, screw it, I don't care what I eat, I'm gonna go get fast food, screw this, and I'm just gonna eat over my calories. And so eating every 2 to 4 hours, I think is super important. As I said earlier, eating a big ass salad per day can't overemphasize enough how important eating one big ass salad per day is. It's super simple, man. Just do it. Oh my God, it's super simple. And again, have a salad you enjoy. And people always ask me, well, what dressing do you use? And like, bro, stop overcomplicating it. Get some greens, put it in a big ass bowl. Don't bathe yourself in ranch dressing. Put some protein on top and you're good to go. Stop overthinking it, man. Seriously. Like, you're way overthinking this shit. And again, this is why I told you, don't eat exactly what I eat. You have to find what works for you. All of the food, and I should have put this here too, but all of the food that I showed you, I enjoy all of that food. I enjoy eating it. That's why it works. That's why I can stick to it. That's why I've seen the progress I have seen, because I actually enjoy what I'm eating. So find what works for you. But the big ass salad, don't overcomplicate the big ass salad, man. Get some greens, put it in a big bowl, put some protein on top. Do not bathe yourself in ranch dressing, and that's your big ass salad right there, okay? Now, when it comes to like, if I'm trying to, let's say I'm not trying to lose fat and I'm trying to like either maintain my current weight or like, you know, just build muscle, whatever, how would it look different? Literally, all I would change, and again, this is just me, all I would change is I would just increase the portion size. So like, for example, this meal, right, or I was going to point, the meal number 3, where I had the rice and the meat, I would just have more rice and I would have more meat. If meal number 6, the very end of the day, I would just have more meat and I would have more sweet potatoes or more rice. Or, you know, the rice cake meal, I would just have more rice cakes. Like, I would literally eat more or less the same exact thing, just in bigger portions. That's all. And this is where, like, you can really be tactical with your portion sizes, because literally you make a change to your portion sizes and that's like more than enough for your body to, for you to cut your calories and lose some body fat, because you're going into a calorie deficit now, right? So you can be very conscientious of your portion sizes and that can make a huge difference. And again, for me, I might like eat out one time per week and I might throw that into the mix if I wanted to maintain my weight. But again, man, like, the food is not going to change that much. It's just the quantities in which I eat the food, in which I want to tell you, because you don't have to hate the food you eat when you're trying to lose fat. Like, even if I'm trying to maintain my weight, all of those foods you saw, I'm going to keep eating all of them. All of them, I'm going to keep eating. Almost everything, every single thing is going to stay the same. I'm just going to eat more of it. That's it. That's literally it. So keep that in mind as well. You should not be hating your entire life, because you should be finding a way to work foods in that you actually enjoy. And listen, like, I don't mean fucking have a donut every single meal. No, I don't mean that. And that's just, at that point, you're being an asshole, right? So like, no, don't eat donuts every single meal, but, you know, find meals and find foods that you enjoy and work them in. Again, if you have not watched my meal prepping and grocery shopping video, watch those 2 videos, man. It's literally on here for free, dude. It's on here for free. So go check out those videos, man. I promise you to help a ton creating your own, you know, what I created right here. You can do that for yourself if you just put the work in and the effort in, which, like, apparently these days, a lot of people don't want to do. So guys, that is what I eat in a day to lose fat. I hope it helped you. If it did help you, if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. And remember, please do not try to go eat what I eat. It's not going to work for you. You're a different human being. You have a different lifestyle. You're different than me. Find what works for you and start rocking that out, all right? Again, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, let me know below. Hopefully it helped you, and we'll chat soon, okay?